Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where are all my social media superstars? Hope you guys are out there. Come on in, join the conversation. We have another hot topic. Today I am Taria Hodge, your host, and this is my co-host, Mr. Etienne Gibbs.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. And today we are going to share with you 6 steps to attracting your ideal client. So come on in, join in on the conversation. We'll love to have you. And while I'm waiting for people to go ahead and jump on, let me just share with you, some of being an entrepreneur and coming up with all these things. Life is always full of challenges. So this is the second time, the second week in a row that I am trying to get this blog talk radio show to work, and it is not working for me. So now I know that Blog Talk has millions, billions probably of subscribers, and everyone is on there doing their shows, but it would not let me select a time frame of 10 a.m. on Saturday morning so I could do my social media Saturday show. So if any of you guys out there have experience with the Blog Talk radio show and you know how the platform works, feel free to drop me a note, a line. Help a sister out because the sister is struggling with Blog Talk. But the bright side of that is I get a chance to do Facebook Live. So this is the second week in a row that we're doing the show as a Facebook Live. And I think I kind of actually prefer it. And I see that we have Colette out there. Good morning, Colette. How are you? Thank you for jumping on and joining us this morning, I should say, because I have Mr. Etienne Gibbs here again. Okay? So so just go ahead, and if you could share this out. I do believe that it's in the private group, so the share option might not be available to you, but you want to go ahead and make a post and ask others, if anyone that they know could benefit, anyone that you know could benefit from the information. You always want to encourage them to join us in our Social Media Saturdays group. Okay, and you could get to the group by going to www.smslive.com. So if you're going to share it out, today we're going to talk about 6 simple steps to attracting your ideal client. Okay, so that's smsnetworkinglive.com. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and get started this morning. So what prompted me to do a video on this topic? So I'll just share a little bit of background. So oftentimes I once again find myself in conversation. I'm always in conversation. I'm always talking. So those of you out there that know me, I'm always talking, right? And I have these wonderful conversations, with my clients when I work with them, and even others. How do you attract the right people to your business? So oftentimes we're doing a lot of things. Like I see a lot of wonderful things out there. I see a lot of webinars. I see a lot of programs, everything. And the big concern seems to be, well, I have all of these wonderful things out there and I'm doing all this wonderful stuff, and people aren't engaging with my content. If you're posting, on social media, so that could be an issue. Or you might have a coaching program that you have and you're finding it hard to fill your coaching program with your ideal clients. Okay, so that's what prompted me to get on here this morning and share this talk with you, because I think if you start to focus on the 6 steps that I'm going to share with you this morning, it would really help you identify and have people self-select into your program, self-select into the things that you're doing, so you will have the opportunity to work with people who are the right fit and the best fit, for you as a company. Good morning, Stella. Thank you for joining. All right. So the first thing, I'm going to start with the first step, and I say this to everyone. Please take some time. If you haven't created your buyer persona, or some people call it their customer avatar, please create your buyer persona. Take some time to do a buyer persona, okay? So what exactly is a buyer persona? Just make make sure you guys could just send me some parts and let me know if you could hear me, if everything is okay, if the audio is good, if the video is good. I just want to know because I see that, guys are out there, but let me know if I need to adjust anything, okay? So we're going to talk about the buyer persona. So please take a minute or take some time. It's more than a minute because here's the thing. As you start to go along in your business, I usually tell people to start with creating at least 3 to 4 buyer personas in the beginning. So why do I say 3 to 4 buyer personas? Here's the thing. You might have a program that you're offering, product or service, right? And when you take a look at your product and your service could actually service different people. So how many of us out there that have businesses like that, and when you take a look at what you do, it could actually serve different types of people, okay? But here's the thing. Oftentimes, we make the mistake in our marketing that when we communicate about our products and the services and the things that we do, we kind of want to capture everybody in one marketing message, okay? And so that right there is the quickest way to ensure failure, because there's a quote out there. It says, sometimes when you speak to all, you end up speaking to none. Okay, so you have to get very specific, have to get very clear in your marketing messages and knowing who you are targeting and putting out your information out there specifically for them. So you want to make sure that when they read your, like I said, if it's an article that you're putting out, if it's a social media post that you're putting out, if it's a webinar that you're promoting, or a workshop, it could be an event. When you put that information out there, people are supposed to be able to read it and raise their hand and say, that is for me. So oftentimes what that would allow you to do, once again, is develop those 3 to 4 buyer personas in your business. And then as you create your marketing messages, you tailor your marketing messages to those specific personas. Now, here's the good part about it. As your business continues to grow, what you're going to find is that you would need to develop more and more and more personas, okay? So don't limit yourself to the 1 or 2, okay, or the 3 or the 4. Always constantly start taking a look at some of your ideal clients that you have now and writing out the personas for them. Taking a look at exactly what problems they're having, okay, that's a big one. Take a look at what problems they're having because, they have specific problems, and it's up to you to position your products or your services to help them with that specific problem. They speak in terms of certain keywords. They have a pain, and they all express their pain in a different way. So are you paying attention to their languaging and how they're expressing their pain? Okay, so anything that you want to share?
I'm glad you brought up the pain again.
Oh yeah, I always talk about the pain. Oh my gosh, I have some pains.
We
like
all do.
my pain right now
Yes.
is Blog Talk Radio.
Yes,
that has been my 2 a.m. problem.
Oh my
So if I have any Blog Talk Radio experts out there, please, please, please shoot me a message on the inbox or something. Help a sister out with Blog Talk Radio because that has been one of my pains. Okay, so. The second step in attracting your ideal client, you want to establish your unique value proposition. So what do I mean by your unique value proposition? Here's the thing. Very rarely does the service or the products that we provide in our business, very rarely is it unique. Okay? So you can take a look at it and you can see that there are millions of social media managers out there. There are millions of people out there that do exactly what it is you do. But here's the thing. What makes it different? What makes it unique? The way how you do it, the way how you serve your clients. Okay, so that's huge. I talk about that all the time. So take a minute, to really identify what your unique value proposition is and make sure that you're communicating your unique value proposition. And with that, how are you helping your ideal clients move past their pain? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about showing value every step of the way and helping them along the way to relieve that pain.
Question.
Yes.
Is it possible that you can give your viewers an explanation of the number of value of their value proposition? How can they come up with a number for themselves?
How can they come up with the number of
The number of their value, with their value in terms of dollar signs.
Okay, so explain a little bit more.
Price,
So I want to make sure that I understand what you're communicating.
So normally when we're talking about value, we're talking about credibility, we're talking about trust, we're talking about understanding.
Okay.
Our clients or potential clients need to understand us, know us, and trust us.
Like no one trust factor.
Yes.
Okay.
And what do we have for credibility to prove to them that we are worth X, Y, and Z?
Oh, okay. So I'm glad that you asked that. So here's the thing. Your value should be communicated every step of the way. So, Etienne, I'm so glad that I asked you to expound on that, because a lot of times this is what I see. I see a lot of times that as entrepreneurs and business owners, we have products and services, and we get so excited about our products and services because we know.
We know.
Yeah, we know.
But the prospects don't.
That it can help.
Yes.
Okay? And a lot of times we're out of order. This is the thing. We're out of order. And when I say we're out of order, there's a specific order in which you do things. Okay? So I had an experience this week. I don't mind sharing my experience. I had a very learning experience, eye-opening experience where I was out of order. Once again, it happens to me too. Okay? So I met a gentleman.
Welcome to the human race.
Yeah, very excited,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Wanted to help. Many of you out there who know me, you know that's always the first thing. I always want to help, okay? And out of order. Did not put the steps in place to make sure that I'm communicating the value to him. So what happened? I gave a price, okay? Gave a price. I thought the price was fair, but this is the thing. He did not understand why.
Yes.
Out of context.
Yes.
Because the time to take to develop the value wasn't there. So here's this person, who was referred to me, so a referral, right? So have a process on how you're going to work with your referrals. And he came in and excited, very ready to go. And here I am excited. I'm ready to go too. Okay, but didn't take the time to communicate my value proposition. So at the end of the day, what does that look like? It results in buyer's remorse. People feel uncomfortable, with
away.
you. They walk away. And the worst thing that could happen is that they talk about you in a bad light to other colleagues or other clients.
And that's the worst kind of advertising we want.
Yes.
That potential customers walk away and spread word about us that is not really true.
Yes.
Which is a distortion on their part. But nevertheless.
Yeah, but once again, it's all about communicating the value.
Exactly.
So once again, when you put out your social media postings out there, so I know many of you are out there on social media platforms, whether you're on Facebook, you're doing live videos, like I'm doing live videos now. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Periscope. There's so many things.
Yes.
Twitter, there's so many things. You're writing blogs that you can do. Okay? So make sure from start to finish that you are communicating value. You're communicating value. Value. So by the time you're ready to position, for your sale, or you're ready to position for your offer, people are clear, okay? Because you have built that like, know, and trust factor.
Again, I'm harping on this because it's very important. What other suggestions can you offer the listeners as to examples of trust factors that they can use?
Okay.
Are they an author? Would your listener be an author? Okay, they're an author and they're talking about author, and then that's a value factor right there.
Okay.
If they are have been in business 20 years and has been successful in this business, that's another trust factor, a value factor.
That's credibility.
Credibility
Building your
yes.
credibility and your trust.
If you have testimonials, legitimate, not these fly-by-night testimonials that you pay somebody $25 to. No. If you have a legitimate, you've done a service or produce a product, and people really spontaneously give you a testimonial, that's credibility. That all builds into the value we're talking about.
Right. You're absolutely correct. And I see that we have a couple more people that joined in. We have Dekisha. Good morning, Dekisha. And then we have Mr. Craig Talley. Thank you for joining.
Hi.
So I hope that you guys are receiving, once again, value,
Yes.
so far as we do this. Because this is, once again, another way, another avenue that I use to build a like, know, and trust factor.
Yeah, like, know, and trust.
Like, know, and trust factor. Definitely, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the third step in attracting your ideal client. So the third step in attracting your ideal client is to make sure that you stay on message. So what do I mean by staying on message?
Don't ramble.
Well, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit more than rambling. When I say stay on message, here's the thing. Once again, in the businesses that we have and the things that we do, it's so easy because I think we touch on
So many years.
so many different areas. But what is it that you were known to be the expert in? I think that's really the question. What do you want to be known to be the expert in? And, I have these conversations all the time because there's overlaps in the things that, we do. Okay, so as a lead generation specialist, because that's what I do, help entrepreneurs and business owners generate leads in their business, leveraging the power of social media. Okay, so that's what I do. So in that, there's so many different overlaps. So sometimes I might talk a little bit about content because content is very important.
Very much so.
Okay? But am I running around out here telling people that I'm going to write your blogs for you? No. Okay? So stay on message. So even though, there's different things that you do, you don't want to confuse your audience by doing too much so they're not really clear on what it is you could do. So you could speak to certain things, okay, but when you put out your marketing messages out there, make sure that you are very clear.
Got a point I want to add to that.
Okay.
One of the best ways to stay clear is to not ramble. Now, what I mean by that is we have so much information we want to give, but it becomes overload for the listener. So here's a simple acronym again.
Okay. This is the acronym guy. Okay. Okay. So what's your acronym?
KISS. Tell me what it means.
Oh, keep it simple, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie, I
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Or-
I don't abuse my social media superstars.
No. Or keep it short and simple.
Okay.
Or keep it short and sweet.
Yes. Okay.
What does that mean? It means the shorter you are in getting your message across. Now that means we have to take a little bit more work. Don't go on in to tell all the adjectives that go with your name and identify yourself. You know who you are. Your credibility will stand for itself. So just give the basic information. Keep it to a paragraph, not to a page.
Right. And then once again, there's avenues and there are places.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, there are places where you might need to write a page or two.
Yes,
and have what we call a long bio about what you do.
Yes.
But in your social media postings, that
Yeah.
might not necessarily be the place
Yeah.
for the long bio.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a time and
Got
place
it.
for everything.
Time and place for everything.
KISS.
Yes. Keep it simple, sweetie.
Sweetie. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so step number 4 in 6 steps to attracting your ideal client. Step number 4, we're going to talk about creating content that would specifically target your buyer persona. So once again, this is very huge. So we talked about developing the buyer persona, taking a look at what their pain, their pains are or what their pain is, okay? Now, when you put your content out there, your content is going to specifically speak to that buyer persona, because once again, they have to be able to raise their hand and say, you know what, this is what I'm suffering from, or this is what I need help in. Let me reach out, or let me check this resource out. And I'm gonna say this. It's so interesting and it's so amazing, because I say it all the time. I meet wonderful people that have wonderful products and services, and sometimes they're positioning the right product, the right service, right product and right service to the right people, but at the wrong time. And that is so huge, and that is so important. So in all your activity, and I think we had Crystal on here yesterday and a couple of other people for the week, since I did the show last week, talk about creating a content strategy. And having a content strategy is very important, okay? So as you develop your content, so whether it's you're writing blogs and you're sharing your blogs on your website, or you're sharing your blogs to e-zines, you're writing your social media postings, even if you have your social media memes that you're putting out there, you're doing your webinars, you're having workshops, you're hosting a conference, okay? Make sure that you are communicating through your content who it is you're trying to reach, and then you're helping them every step of the way. Okay? All right?
Sure.
All right. And I see Charlene just joined. Hi, Charlene. Thank you for joining in. All right. And you guys are quiet out there today. So I don't know if I'm missing my comments, but I'm not seeing any comments. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not even seeing any hearts go along the screen. So somebody just let me know something. Let me know if you guys, if any of the things that I'm sharing, is resonating with you, because once again, I want to make sure that, I'm providing value, because this is what the show is all about. The show is all about, being able to help, the entrepreneurs, the business professionals, that I meet and I encounter, provide a platform for them that would allow them, to grow in your business, or to allow you to grow in your business. So hi, Roberta. Okay, thank you for joining. And I see I just got a message from Dakisha saying that there are several comments, but this is a thing. I can't see my comments. So technology is not my friend this week. This is like so weird for me. So I could see you guys joining, but I can't see the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is, after we're done with the steps, I'm going to have to come back in and answer the comments. Wow, I really wish that I could. Yeah, I really wish that I could see them, because I want to know what the feedback is. I want to know if this is making sense, if it's resonating, with you guys, if you're enjoying it. Okay, so once again, I'm going to take a deep breath.
Technology is wonderful.
When it works.
When it works.
When it works. When it works. When it works. When it works. Okay, so step number 5. I'm going to share on step number 5 to optimize your website for SEO, so search engine optimization. So what we're talking about 6 steps to attracting your ideal client, okay? So many of you out there, I know you guys have websites. So are you making sure that on your website, you're infusing your website with your keywords, your meta tags? So when people search on Google and they search how to, you ensure that your site is coming up, because that's all part of it too. People have to be able to find you.
Not only Google, but there are other websites. Search engines.
Sure.
Yeah.
YouTube is the number 1 search engine, and I think I go to YouTube before I go to Google. Why? Because I want to watch a video. I want somebody to show me how to do it, because I'm a visual learner. Okay, so I go to YouTube. I use YouTube all the time. Here's another thing, and this is huge. Have you, started coding your websites for retargeting? What do I mean by that? So a lot of times we have our sites out there. We have no idea of who's going to our websites when people are visiting our website, unless they leave a comment. And how often does that really happen, right? Unless they leave a comment. I had a conversation this week. Young lady says, I have my lead gen on my website and it's just there. Okay? So you really don't know who's visiting your site. Here's the thing. Make sure that your site is coded, okay, to track the visitors who are going to your site. So once you put that little coding on there, it's called a pixel. I'm sharing something with you today. Once you put that pixel code on there and those visitors visit your site, now you could have information like your ads. So I know quite a few of you out there are running ads on different platforms, whether it's a Facebook ad, whether it's ads on LinkedIn, whether it's YouTube. You guys are running ads. You want to make sure that your information is showing up where your viewers are. Okay, so if you haven't done that, please don't start running ads before you make sure that your site is coded correctly, because once again, you want to be able to track those people. Okay, so you want to make sure that your site is optimized. All right, and the last step in attracting your ideal client is maintaining your social media presence. And it goes back to what we were talking about last week, having a content strategy. So it's very huge, very important. There's so many things for us to do, as entrepreneurs, okay? But you have to make sure that you're leveraging one of what I say the best tools out there, which is social media. And I'll just share with you a short story. When I started my business 6 years ago, I didn't have a ton load of money, for marketing. So social media was one of the areas. I was just about to say not one of the areas. It was the area. Well, no, one of the areas, because I network too. Okay, but one of the areas that I really gravitated towards, because it allowed me, to position myself in front of people who could use my products and my services, utilize my business, and I didn't have to spend a ton load of money to do it. So now the question becomes, are you on social media? Which sites are you on social media? And here's a hint. It's not about the sites that we like to be on. It's about the sites where your ideal clients are. Okay? So if you have found that your ideal clients are on LinkedIn, have you established your presence on LinkedIn? And have you started generating your leads? Have you started generating your leads from LinkedIn? Okay? I know, and we're in the Virgin Islands, and it's a beautiful day, and they're doing tours and everything. I just love it.
Yes.
I just love it, love it, love it. And I know some of you are expanding into other platforms, good morning, such as Instagram. Okay, and Instagram is huge. So are your ideal clients out there on Instagram, and are you establishing a presence for yourself there? It might be YouTube, it might be Periscope. So just once again, I challenge you to make sure that you do some research. Take a look at your insights. I think I talked about this last week as well too. Take a look at the insights. See who's interacting with your, hi, good morning. See who's interacting with your content, okay? And you should be doing this across all the platforms, because most social media platforms will allow you to track your insights, okay? And then develop your content and make sure that you set a calendar. And you don't have to do everything all at one time, okay?
I'm sorry, I got to say this.
Uh-huh.
I'm distracted. We just had a tour go by, and the folks are loving it. They're Danish. They're looking at us. What the heck's going on here? We are in the middle.
It's social media Saturdays. It's social media Saturdays.
And we did a lot of social going on.
Yes, and I think I just shared the 6 steps. And I think what I
Yeah.
could do after we're done is just give them just a little peek, a little view of
Where you
what the
are.
surroundings are.
Yes.
And
There you
I'm
go.
loving it. You know,
Yes.
you guys know I love it. It's warm. I don't have a scarf around my neck or anything like that. I love it.
Yes,
Okay.
it's nice.
So just to do a quick recap, like I said, I'm really kind of bummed out that I can't see the comments, but I'm seeing a notification that there's 50 comments. I don't know why I can't see the comments, but I would like to thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for this another episode of Social Media Saturdays. But just to recap, the 6 steps in attracting your ideal client. Step number 1, you want to make sure that you create your buyer persona. So once again, take the time and really take a look at your ideal clients, take a look at who's interacting with your content, and write out those personas. Start with at least, 3 to 4 in your business. Number 2, establish your unique value proposition. What is it uniquely that you are bringing to the marketplace? Step number 3, make sure to stay on message. So I know that we could do quite a few things in our businesses, but make sure when people connect with you or they communicate with you, they're not really confused as to what is it that you do. Step number 4, when you create your content, make sure that you write content that speaks directly to your buyer persona. And this usually helps. Give your buyer persona a name. And as you write your content, you create your content, create content as if you are speaking specifically to that buyer persona.
Correction. Not as if, but are speaking.
Like you are speaking. Thank you
Yes,
for the
yes.
correction. Thank you.
It's just an addition. Just an addition.
I love it. Love
Speak
it. Love
directly
it.
to them.
Speak
Yes.
directly
Get
to
in the
them.
habit of doing that.
Yes. It's very important. Very important. Step number 5, make sure that you are optimizing your sites. And when I say site, not just your websites, but also your social media platforms as well. Don't skip over the info, okay? So make sure that you're filling out the infos. Make sure that you're filling out the about me's. So when people do search you, they know exactly what it is you do and who you are designed to help. And step number 6, make sure that you are maintaining your social media presence. Okay, it's very important to include social media into your content marketing strategy. And I usually tell people when it comes to creating your content, you don't have to stress yourself. Find what works well, for you, and then do that. So if it's video content and you do video content well, let it be that. If you write, let it be that. Okay, if you do audio content, let it be that. Okay, all right.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Mainly for your viewers, listeners, members. I like acronyms, and I
Okay.
think they can help.
Okay,
But I don't know if it works for everybody. So I'd like to get some feedback from your viewers.
okay.
Would they send some feedback whether or not they'd like to know more about acronyms? And if that's the case, I'll be more than happy to provide a...
Wonderful. So that would be a poll, okay, that will go up in our Social Media Saturdays group today. Hi, Wesley. Hi, Tony. I see you guys are joining. Thank you for joining in. That will be a poll that will go up because once again, it speaks to, how people learn.
Yes.
And I myself, I like acronyms as well because it helps me
Yes.
remember stuff. Now, I'm not great at creating acronyms, but I like acronyms because they help me remember stuff. So I'll put a poll out there.
Okay, and I'll be more than happy to give them a chapter from my book
Okay.
about acronyms.
Nice. Okay, so you hear that, guys? How cool is that? You are going to get a chapter from what's the name of the book?
It's coming up. I don't want to
Oh,
do that right now.
So we're not going to leak the name of the book on Social Media
Yes.
Saturdays, okay?
Yes,
We're
yes.
not going to leak it yet, but trust me,
It's
it is coming out. It is coming out. But yes, I will make sure to post the gifted chapter, of the book inside the group, okay? All right, and I'm so once again I'm so bummed out I can't see the comments. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say have a wonderful and happy Saturday. And as soon as I get off, I'm going to go check my comments. Thank you all
Thank
for
you all.
joining me once again for Social Media Saturdays. And I'm going to ask if
Go ahead.
if you guys really prefer doing Social Media Saturdays as a Facebook Live video inside the group, because when I tell you I am over Blog Talk Radio. So if you prefer to have Social Media Saturdays as a Facebook Live in the group, just make sure you let me know, and then we will meet here on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
And I'm on Blog Talk.
Oh, he's gonna rub it in, right? He's on Blog Talk. Okay, but no, we're getting ready.
I'm holding your hand. I'm holding your hand. Let me interrupt. Because I want to thank you ever so much for allowing me to sit in with you and share with you.
Oh, you're welcome.
We have a lot in common, and we want to offer it to the listeners.
Okay, well, give them the information for the show, because we're doing another Blog Talk Radio show at 12 a.m. this afternoon. Okay, so once again, it's open invitation if you want to join us on the Blog Talk Radio show. It's his show this time, and I'm going to be a guest.
She's one of the guests, yes.
I'm going to be a guest.
This is the month of the Virgin History Month. It's also National Women's Month.
Yes.
So we want to give a shout out, a hi to 4 ladies who are educators in the Virgin Islands, helping to educate the Virgin Island child.
Okay. Nice.
So if you want to listen in, and if you want to call in, you're welcome to do that. Go to blogtalkradio.com/chat with Dr. Leonard Richardson. Our doctor is abbreviated DR, no periods. Chat with DR Leonard Richardson. And when you get there, just scroll down to the first available episode, and you'll see it right there. Click on it, and then you can participate.
Okay.
Call in.
Wonderful. At 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
So once again, that's blogtalkradio.com/chat with Dr. Leonard Richardson. Okay. All right. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you. And have a blessed day. Bye-bye.